All right, guys, welcome back to class. I'm so glad you are joining once again. So, as promised, we'll be designing this beautiful, yummy, Gina's yummy cake together on Corel Draw. So, we'll be making use of a software application on computer to design this together. And also, for those that also have their smartphone, you can still try the same process. It's almost the same process, the just that the pattern or the tools is quite different from Canva. But if you still recognize the tools on Canva, you can still also be able to adopt it on Canva as well. Corel Draw and Photoshop is recommended for design and for prints if you want to also get your job printed, and yeah. So we'll be looking at this together, how we can design this together using Corel Draw. So for the purpose of this class, I would start all over so I can explain the whole process to you. So I wouldn't close this. So let me start another new page. So what we need to do now is click Corel Draw. You can search for Corel Draw and just open the application. I'm opening another new um, um, interface just now. So no, let me cancel that. So guys, so I just opened another one. So what you need to do, we've already discussed the fundamentals and all. So what we need to do is to create a new document. We are designing for social media, right? So here now we are designing for social media. We have the CMYK color and the RGBs, but this is for social media, not for print. If it's for print, we'll click CMYK, but this is for print, we click RGB. Then we change the size to 6 by 6 inches by, I press my tab button here. You can press the tab keyboard by 6. Then that will give us square shape. We are still working on social media, so we have our first square shape, which is empty. You see, it is an empty box. I'm using my pick tool. I'm on my pick tool. I'm using my pick tool to highlight. You can use your pick tool to highlight, to grab and to hold. So, and what we need to do first now is we grab our first shape, because you can't just apply color if the box is empty. There is no any canvas laid on this page, on this drawing page. This is the drawing page that we just made. So we want to put a paper on the drawing page so that we can draw on it. So we are going to click. We can either drag like this. If we drag like this, it's going to give us another different shape entirely. It can give us square if we can straighten our hand, and again it can give us rectangle, but we are not doing with this shape. And another thing is for you to click it and then you hold your shift key. If you hold your shift key and you click, this is what you will get. And if you hold your control key, you get the perfect square shape. You get the perfect square shape, guys. And we can just give it our drawing page size, which is 6 by 6. Then we do what? We click enter. We click enter on our keyboard. Then we want to make it to center in our drawing page. So what you need to do is to press P. If you press P on the keyboard while you are clicking on the box, it will center directly to this drawing page. So that's what I want to do. I don't want to start, moving it like this and all that, and it might not center it, it might not align it well. So you just press your P keyboard. If you press your P keyboard, it will just fit it automatically. So no need of you trying to do anything. So we've gotten that. So what we need to do next is let me grab our artwork. I'll click Control C to copy. So then I'm going back to just Control V. That is what I'm pressing. So that is Control V. Then let me resize this to 6 by 6 so that we can have the 6 by 6 shape. Then I can now move this out of our drawing page so that we only have this. So we can either use our mouse to scroll. This is our navigation scrolling bar. Can use it to scroll, and we can use it to look for other stuff that we probably put here. Then what next? Now we are going to do our first image. So we have an image background here placed on the background, and we blended it to the background. So what we need to do now is, guys, we can access this background by going to file. You go to file, we can do import, or you just directly use your control and you press control and I together, which will also give us the import. And you can then use the file processes. You still the control I you see here, and press control I. Then let's locate where our image is. This is our image, so we are going to click import. Once we're on import, then you drag it. Once you drag it, then you lift it. Then when you lift it, now you will see we want to make it to enter inside this box. We don't want it to be outside like this, so that when we want to finally export our document, we won't be having an overlapping issues. So what we need to do now is we want to move it inside this box. So you click on it and do what? And then you come to object. If you come to object, you see where they write power clip. Power clip simply means you want to clip a particular image or item or object into a frame, and which is the box we have made with the empty box. We have made the drawing paper we have made. We want to click this inside it, then we do what? We click it. Then and also you can as well, instead of going the extra mile of using your object to clipboard and all that, you can as well just use your left click mouse. You use your left click mouse to move it. Once this symbol is showing that you want to perform a process here. Which process do you want to perform? Then it will ask you, then you can now say power clip inside. Then you power clip inside it. Then we want to access the document, the picture with power clip. We want to also do some more editing on this picture. So what you need to do now is, because we cannot do anything to it now because it is power clip, unless we edit it, we edit the power clip. So now we want to now edit. So you come to edit. So edit the content of the power clip object. So you click edit. So it's going to take us here. Or you use your mouse also. You can just use your mouse and then double tap on your mouse. Double tap it will still take you to the box and to the inside of the box. Then to the inside of the box, we want to use our first effect tool, which is transparency tool. So from pick tool, we are now on transparency tool. Remember, we start with the box. So we are going to use our transparency tool. We want to blend this area. We want to blend the area from this wooden object. We want to blend it to the glass so that we can have seamless blending to the background that our image would be. So we have achieved that. So now next for us to do is, we want to move our image. If I click the same import, control I now, that I want to import this image, we see that this image is with a background. Wants to make use of our Photoshop so that we can also in this process learn how we can use Photoshop to trim out an image perfectly okay, including the hair, so that we won't be having a really jagged hair trimmed. So what we now need to do is we'll go back and then open our Photoshop. This is our Photoshop. We'll go back and open our Photoshop. Once you open your Photoshop, yeah, once you open your Photoshop, then you click what? You click open, not create new. We are not creating a document, we just want to use it to open the picture. Then you locate where the picture is. You can download any picture of a female holding cake, whichever one that suits you. We've already discussed image sourcing. We've discussed freepik.com, how you can get image, and then the keyword to use. You can use a woman carrying cake or a woman holding a cake on the search box and download whichever picture that suits you. So we are going to use this, and then we are going to click and then open it. Once we open it, then it's going to open straight to our Photoshop. What you now need to do first now is let us unlock this layer, or we can as well use our Ctrl J to duplicate this layer. Ctrl J does what? Duplicate layers. So we can use it to, then we click on it, meaning that we want to work on this layer. We don't want it to affect the other layer. So um I'll just lock this one. I will blind the eyes so we don't see. I will just toggle the eyes down so we don't see that. And what we need to do now, we want to trim this fine lady out from the background. So there are a lot of processes in Photoshop. With Photoshop, you have lots of creative sense, to either remove background from image or from any object. We have the um, we have the pen tool, which you can use to start trimming another, but that will take a lot of time to do. But because of the modern age we have, Photoshop has gone to the age whereby we don't need to start trimming our images any longer with this pen tool and other tool involved, which will take a longer process. However, so that is why we now have what is called the quick selection tool. This is the quick selection tool from after the pick tool, the marquee tool, and the lasso tool, and then we have the quick selection tool. So the quick selection tool, as you can see in the video, is used to select an object. So if I click on the quick selection tool, there you can come over to the hardness, increase the hardness. You can increase the size. What the size does is it will increase the size of the brush. You see, I've increased it a little too much. I will decrease it again. It's too big. I will still decrease it again. It's too big. Then I can, just like that. That's how you can be doing that. So, but then again, instead of going from this end to this end, what you just need to do to either increase or decrease is to what? Press bracket, where bracket is on your keyboard, not the other bracket that has the one of 9 and 0, the other one beside the P, the P and the enter keyboard. So you are going to press the bracket, can press it and hold it to bring it down, or you press the other bracket to take it high to increase it. So what we need to do now is we want to now click on it. We are not going to click on the background. We click on our image to select it, but this also will take a not really longer time, but we want Photoshop to do this for us. So I will just use my Control D. Control D will deselect it. Photoshop is rather a technical and complex application for a beginner, but that's why we are making use of Photoshop to trim images at least so that you can understand the work. Instead of us highlighting it one by one and all that, which will take a longer time, what we just need to do is we are on the quick selection tool. We just use the Photoshop AI tool. What this does is that Photoshop will automatically scan the image and then select it automatically for us. As the background is even plain, it will be easier for it to grab rather than other background that has some other building or some other elements in play. But this is a plain background, so it makes it easier and simpler for Photoshop to quickly detect. So we are going to press the select object. Once we press the select object, Photoshop will then, using the AI technical tool to select our object. So it has helped us to select our object very well. We can just make just a little adjustment to it. We can use our control plus. If you press control plus, we increase the zoom of the image so that we can see very well. We can then just control Z again just to um make sure we are able to hold the basic place that Photoshop AI do not see because they are blurred. So and now I want to cut a little part from here. So I'm going to hold my Alt key. If I hold my Alt key, it will change to minus. Minus means I want to remove from it. If I remove the hand from the Alt, it's going to change back to plus. And again, what I can do is to come over here and then click my minus key, subtract. That is what it's showing. So I will just briefly subtract that, and I can hold my plus again. I will just make sure I reduce the size just a little, and we can just um, minus again. We can just yeah, we can just wait for it like this. I think this is still okay. So what we need to do next now is let me make some other few corrections here. So now we are on the background, then we'll just click our layer mask here. This is where layer mask is. Add the layer mask. So if we add the layer mask will help you subtract from the background and the image you want to trim, because we have already highlighted, we have already make a mark to the item or object we want to remove. So we'll add our layer marks will then remove the background for us so that we can have the image standing. And if we also want to remove this image from the background, we can still also make use of our layer mask by pressing the Control I. Control I simply means control invert. Then it will also invert our selection, meaning we have removed this image from the background, which doesn't actually is very right to do, because we actually just want to remove our image. And if it's just the image we want to totally remove, that is another entirely processes where we use our content aware field to remove image while we will still have the background. So I will press my Control I back again. So now I am here. If we can see, we have some blue on the air, and we want this air to be crystal clean, so that when we place it on the background, we won't be having this jagged unprofessional look in our flyer. So like for instance, let me just pick a color here. We can pick a color here so that we can see it very well. Then we can now bring this down so that we have our layer. As you can see how the blue is showing. So what we need to do is we will go back to the layer and we'll hold on this image, we'll press this image, and then we'll do what? We click select and mask. So we want to mask this air. out. So what we need to do is we click on our smart radius and then we click on our decontaminate color, and then we can do a little bit of contrast and all that. Then we are going to now pick this tool that is called the refine edge brush tool. So what this does is that it will automatically detect where there is air and color and remove the color. It will sample the area of the color and start removing it. So I want to increase our plus a little, still with the same brackets that I explained. Then I will first sample the color. You will hold, you will click, and then you will hold on it. Once you click and hold on it, then you start, start holding. While holding, you will just be moving your hands to the area. If I remove my hand now, it will automatically remove those parts out. Then I would continue again, click, and then continue to move your mouse around to the center edge of the air where those colors are, so that we can remove the color from the air totally. Then we do what again? We remove our hand, it remove that part. Then again we click on it, again, then you move your mouse. You make sure you are holding your mouse down. You are holding your mouse, your left click hand, you are holding it down. You are holding it while you are also moving your mouse, so that it continues to sample those area. Then it has removed that part. Then let's also come here. Then we also hold our mouse, then we move it around. See, just the way I am doing. We move it around just a little. We don't want it to enter into the face of the lady. Then we then lift our hands once again. As you can see, we have removed the part where necessary. We can adjust our contrast a little, so that we can, or we just reduce the contrast, or we increase the contrast. Let's just increase the contrast so we can have little sharpness on the air, on the edges of the air, so that we can see them very well. So we have been able to remove. We can also just adjust a little bit of our radius. I don't actually mess much with radius. What I do is to make use of the refine edge brush tool. So, and yeah, so what you now need to do is you make sure you're on new layer with layer mask. You are using the new layer with layer mask, so that we have another new layer and another new layer mask in case we want to edit it again. So we just click OK. So now we have done that, guys. We have removed that part. Then what we need to do is we want to now export this image. We can as well just remove some tinted, some blemishes from the face. We can, let's just apply this. Let's just apply layer mask. If we apply layer mask, it's going to just make the it is going to just merge everything together. Then let's remove our color here. We'll untoggle that. Then let's do some little edits to the face. Then I can just come over to where we have the spot healing brush. Let's just heal those side just a little. Just click on it. No, it will automatically samples those parts, so we can have just a little bit, of cleanliness on the face. here. So let's use our control minus now to zoom out, or you can just go back here to your zoom. Where is our zoom key? This is our zoom sign. This is zoom, or you press Z. So once you're on zoom, you can just press it, and then you drag out. You can also use it to drag in and drag out from your photos, from your using your same mouse. You make sure you are holding the mouse. Your mouse is placed while you are dragging it. You are dragging it just like you are sliding your hands on the mouse. Then we can now go to file. We want to now export this image out as a PNG. So we'll come to export as. Export as, it's on JPEG now. If it's on JPEG means white background, means that there is a background on it, but we don't want a background. You click on PNG here. Click on PNG. We can do some by book by cubic sharper. Then we'll wait for it to load. It's still loading. It's processing to give our end results as a PNG. So guys, we are on PNG, then we click export, and then we can save to wherever we want to save it to. Let's save it here again, and boom, we have successfully trimmed our image, guys. So what next for us to do is we now go back to our Corel Draw. Then we want to bring the image that we just trimmed, wants to bring it back. Then we use our what control I back, which means import, or we go to file and then control I, just the same process. Then we locate our picture, the one without the background that we trimmed. Then we do what? We drag it. That is how you successfully bring your image to your drawing page. Then I want to just crop it out a little, so I can decide to use the crop tool, but then I always make use of my shape tool. What shape tool does is, shape tool is used to create a curve or straight line, or to edit some particular parts in a shape, or to modify, or to also do some spacing to our text. That is what this tool does. I will just highlight it, and then with my control key holded, being hold, I will just shift it so that we can have some level of adjustment to it, but it still doesn't actually impact the whole process, because our image is already a PNG form. I just did that so that we can see, just in case we have a shape we want to crop out or something. That is why I did that. So we are in the position. We just moved in our image, the woman, the lady holding the cake. We just successfully moved her into our drawing page. So what next, guys, is we want to now create our first text, which is Gina's yummy cake. So now we are going to be making use of our first text, which is this. You make sure you are clicking on the text tool. Click on the text tool, then you click on it, then you write Gina's apostrophe S, Gina's. That Gina's is another typography on its own. So I can just do Gina's. Then I would Control C will mean I want to copy it, Control C, and then Control V. I have pasted it again. I have make it a duplicate. Then I can click on it again, and then Control A. Control A will highlight it, or instead, don't let me just go to that process. Let's click another one again, and then, because I don't want it to you guys to get confused with the whole shortcut and all. So we are going to click Yummy enter, we are going to press the enter key, then cake. So we have our yummy cake and Gina's here. So guys, once to achieve this effect, so what we now need to do is, first of all, we need to first of all get our typography right. We make use of Gina's here. So let's see the Gina typography that we use. I think I made use of not this. Let me just, for the purpose of time, let me just go back and then check which Gina we use. If I hadn't oh, I have even curved it. Let's see if we haven't made use. I have also curved it here too. Okay, that means we are going to look for the typography out. So let's search. Okay, we've seen it. This is it. We actually use dancing in the rainbow. So that is the typography usage, guys. So we are going to then, enhance it a little by using we are still on our pick tool. Automatically it will also always be on pick tool. We can use this icon, this node, meaning that you want to scale the object. So you can either scale it by holding and dragging, or you scale it like this by squeezing it, but this is not right in graphic. We don't use this method to resize our text. Instead, we use this and we use shifts. We hold our shifts so that we can have everything, giving us this centered positioning instead of making one side to shift. So we can use it and hold our shift and then drag just a little. So also we want to create our yummy cake, which is let's see the fonts we used. I think we also make use of let's see. Yeah, I think we use Cooper here. Yes, it was Cooper we used, or I used rather. Then I'm on the I'm on the shape tool again, so I want to use it to, adjust my text so that they are not flying around and that they keep the relationship together. I just use my zoom key now to zoom it, which is Control plus, just as in Photoshop to Control plus and Control minus will always help you to zoom out your page, your drawing page, so you can see everything clearly. Then you can now click on your pick tool. Then let's see what else we did. Then we use the center alignment. Then to do that, we are going to click on it, and then we see on our property bar here, we have the alignment icon here for the text. So you are going to click it and then click center. So we've clicked center, and then we can shift it just a little, just a little, and then our Gina's cake, we can then also bring it down a little, just a little, guys. We can make it sit inside because we are still going to use it for some effects. So we can just leave it like this. Then we are going to click everything and highlight, then let's bold it. Then what now we need to do is we want to do a little bit of rotation, just as we have here. What you need to do is you click on, we are on pick tool, we are going to highlight it, it will highlight everything, then you click on it again so that we have other editing tools to do. Either wants to rotate it or wants to skew it, or then we rotate it just a little. We rotate it, so we can have our effects. We rotate it, then we resize it just a little, and that's it. Then what next we want to do is we want to grab our circle. Then we also can grab our circle, then we do what, we bring it here, we bring it to our text. Then what we want to do now is we want to make it to go down to the genus and the yummy cake. So you are going to press your control, you hold your control key and you press page down on your keyboard, or you just come here and you come to order, here, then you click to back to layer, then it will go to those layer. Then now we want to apply our first color. The color we used here was, we make use of this brown, this brown here, guys. So we are on our, the circle is gone beyond, so I'll use my control page up to move it, a little. Then we are on our RGB color. Let me close this palette. This one is the CMYK. I always like to bring the two color out so that I can work with them efficiently. But this is our RGB, guys. Then we can pick our color here. Then we've picked that. Then we can increase it. Then we want to remove this outline, the black outline that is there. There will always be black outline because it is the outline that was showing here. So we want to remove this outline. Then you come here where we have our color, or we come here, means that we want to remove the outline. If we left click, it will remove the fill color, but we don't want to remove the fill color, so we will just right click instead. Once we right click, then we click on the set outline color so that we remove the black out from the shape. Guys, I hope everyone is following. Then what next for us to do is, I think I need to do a little bit of think I make use of this skew here, not entirely a rotation. So we can then increase, just a little. So what next we did, guys, is then we apply our first color, which is I guess it's this. Then also to the Gina, which is also this. But then let's see, we make use of some gradients there. So let's use this is our gradient, sorry, this is our gradient interactive fill. If we want to apply two separate colors to an image or to text, this is where, so the white stands from white to this color, it will blend it. And if I pick another color, it will also blend it together. Guys, I hope you can see that. So but for now, I think I clicked on this, and then I want to add a little bit of color this color to our um our pale yellow, I will just hold my control key and then hold on it and then click on it so that we can have a little bit of that color. And then I will just also do that to this same Gina too. So instead of me trying to do the same color blend, I'll just hold my left mouse. You will click on the left mouse, then you drag until you have this icon of the character placed on Gina. Then you can remove your hand, and then you do what? You copy fill here. Copy fill here will copy the exact color that you also use on that, so that we can, then what next we want to do now is we want to make some effects, cool effects that we did here. So we are going to make use of our tool here. We also have some contour. This contour also is a great tool that we can use to create a really cool effect. So we click on the contour, then we move things, just a little and all that. Then once that's done, you can click on OK. Then while you are being there, just press your Control K. Control K will separate it because we want to further edit the once to further edit it, then you press your Control K. Once you press Control K, means that it is now in a separate layer. It is on a separate layer. Then also we can do that again to this same um Control K contour we just made. Then we make another contour from it. That is how we can achieve our effect of the cake. Then we can do that too. Then the same Control K. Then let's do some color separation there. So I think let's see if the color we used. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's see if this color would okay. We can try also to we can use different colors just to create a contrast and to create that feeling of cake and yummy feelings. Also, we can do that to our Gina too. Then let's move the Gina to the top by using control. You hold your control page up. You press your control and then page up key to move this Gina upward, to move it forward. Then you can as well apply the same effects, where let's see if we can do a little blending to it, so we can have the same blended to the then um let's click on that again on this contour tool we are on. Then let's try and do the same for Gina. Then okay, then we have used our Control K now to separate it. Then we want to also apply this same color that we just applied. We can use this to sample the color we used, which is this. Then we will now click it also on that. And then what next? We need to do another um okay I think let's just bring that down. Then this, I'm thinking of So guys, I'm just trying to make sure that we have this particular color. I'm trying to see. Let's try and mix a little black to this color so we can have a tinted deep cream, deep chocolate. No, it's too much, I guess. Control Z so that we can have our, let's see if we can also do that too here. I'm making use of my control key to click on those color so that I'm adding some colors to it as a mixture, just like an artist mixing color so that I can try to get the effects right, guys. So that's that. Then I'll just apply my color back here, then use the same black, then let's reduce this a little, or maybe we should just leave it like this since this is not bad at all. So I want to reduce this, so I am clicking on on the um on the contour we make, the effects we make with this Gina. Then to the Gina, I want to click the two together. So I first click on the contour, then I hold my shift. Once you're holding your shift, then you click the Ginas too so that we can have the two together. Then we can then, further edit them, to a level of satisfaction. So that's let's also see if we can do some. All right. Okay, I just use my control page down now to move it a little, little bit down so that we can have it rhymed, so that we can have it rhymed on this other color of the yummy, so that we can have a crystal clear effect. you know this effect is not easy to make, but then for the purpose of this tutorial you can try as much as possible to at least um achieve your effect to some extent. So we can bold it. I don't want this Gina to touch this Y. So let me shift it up a little. Yeah. So let me see if I can then, yeah, I just shifted my transparency blended tool just a little down so that we can have the Gina blended properly to the yummy. Then guys, our we have achieved our effects. We have achieved the effect we created here, guys. Just that this color is a CMYK, is made with CMYK prints. So, and now another thing we'll be creating is the Gina logo, which is also this, just as explained. Also, we are going to be making use of our elements of design, which is circle here. Now we are going to hold our shifts. If we press shift, we can get this kind of circle. If we also hold our control, we can get a crystal rounded perfect circle, but we don't want that. We want the circle to be bended, so we can just create it perfectly. Then we do what? We use our skew object here to to reduce it like that. Then we move it to center to our circle here, so that we have a proper alignment there. We can increase this just a little. Then what we need to do is we want to apply some color to it, which is white, or maybe we should just leave it as this color. Then we remove the outline, which is black, just as explained. You use your left hand click, your right click on the mouse to remove that. Then yeah, once that's done, then we want to also duplicate it. To duplicate this circle, are going to press the circle. We are on the circle, then we do what? Control. We press Control and C together. If we press Ctrl and C together, we have copied, and we press Ctrl and V again to paste, so that we can have it pasted. Then we can shift this a little while holding our shift key. We can use our mouse to take it down just a little. Then we can create a outline. So just as explained, also we can also use this, also the same left hand click to remove outline. And to remove outline, if you want to remove outline, you make sure you are coming here. This symbol means you don't want anything, either the color fill or the outline. If we use the color, if we don't want the color fill, just left click on it, and it will remove the colored fill. If it's the outline you want to remove, right click on it, then you remove the outline. But once the outline to be there, instead of clicking it, if you click it, nothing will apply. Then you come to the color, then you use the same right click, the right mouse click to click it and set outline color. Then your outline color will be back. So as we can see, this is a rather um not really complicated software, but it's a really complex software to quickly grab as a beginner. That's why I think with this tutorial, if you can still watch it over and over again, you will grab it to some extent. So next thing we are going to be doing is we are going to be going back here to click our text box, our text, our A. Then we do what? We click on it, then we type Gina on our keyboard, Gina. Then we choose our typography, which we use the Cooper Black. Then we can resize it just using this same scaling symbol. Then we do what? We move it in. We can just then do a little bit of scaling down. Then also we can press our A again, our text tool again, then use it to type cakes, the Gina cakes. Then we take it down just a little again. Then let's zoom it, control and plus on the keyboard. Then we can if you know the name of your font, you can just click on the text sorry guys, on the text here, on the changing on the font bar, you can just type your font name. But since this is a beginner's class, sorry, this is a beginner's class, we'll just don't do that. We'll just look for the font to use, let's use this papyrus. You can use any font, just make sure it fits with whatever design you are creating. So, and this is Gina cakes here. You can use Gina cakes. We can use this font, and then this together. Then we can increase this just a little. See, it's quite different from the one we created before. So yeah, then we can apply the same color. Then we can also apply this color to our cake, or we leave it at black. So we have Gina cakes, guys, and we also have some little bit of flour here. You can also create that too by using our shortcut key, which is control. You make sure you are pressing a control and F11. Control and F11. Once you press control and F11, the glyphs will come out, and with these glyphs, come here and type in your webdings. Type WE, then it will automatically shows webdings, or instead, if it doesn't show, you type it fully webdings, then you press enter. So once you press enter, you are going to see this other, other shape icon and other, just like it is on Canva too. Then this is the shape and the flower we used. Then we can then drag it and then drop it here. Then we can close this. We can then zoom it again, our control. Then we can use our mouse to also, or we use our navigation panel to move things, to slide, and to so that we can see proper view of everything. We can leave our flower here, for the Gina cake. Then we can apply the color to that also, or we just leave it on top. you know if we leave it on top, then we can decide to just crop a little part of it. By cropping it, it's not going to bring a crop tool for us. What we need to do is we can either use our crop tool here, or let's just use our control key. Our control Q will help us to curve it. We want to curve it into more editable format, so that we can remove some parts. We can use the control Q. If we press control Q here, see what it will do. It will crop, it will change the format, meaning you want to edit some parts, and all that. But also we want to make sure we remove this this part out from our shape. So what we can do is to grab this box tool. We can use our box. There are different ways you can remove that tool. Actually, you can also, let's make use of our freehand tool, or our B spline. If you click your B spline, you can use it to create a shape, or to create a drawing, or anything. We can draw around it, around this object. We want to remove this object, then we can remove, lower the outline. This is the outline, just as in Canva tool, where you can increase the size of the outline, and that is that too. Then we want to remove this part, so we've clicked on it. Then shift, you are going to hold your shift keyboard, then you click on this. Once you are clicking on this, on your panel, on your property bar here, you are going to be seeing some other function key, some other function icon here. You can see this is a really advanced tutorial, guys, but you need to watch this very carefully, and you follow step by step, so that you can get things right. Then you see where it shows trim. That trim means cut out. You see, cut out a portion of an object by using the shape of another object. So we are going to now click on it, and then we remove that part out, so we can have our Gina flower only. Then we can put that here, then we can resize it just a little. This has even formed a logo for us, as this is just a tutorial. We have used this to form a particular logo. Then we can then center this, center alignment, and also this probably center alignment. We can then increase this just a little, holding your shifts and dragging it, and then let's shift this down a little, so we can have good balance. And then to the shape, we are going to click. Okay, I didn't explain that. We are going to click on it, also shifts, hold your shifts and click on Gina. Hold your shift, while holding your shift click on cake, so that we can have everything clicked together, because we want to resize it or we want to balance it. But we want to balance it. If we balanced it like this, everything will shifted together. But instead of doing that, what we need to do is we group them together. We click on it, shifts click, and also shift click. Then we do what? We press our Control G. Control G simply means control group. If we control group, our sign will change to you have grouped this item. If I click on group, it will ungroup them. If I click Control G back again, it will group them, so that we can move them together and all that. So that's what Control G does. So I can decide to why clicking on this, I can use I want to center it to this circle. Then I'll hold my shift key and then press on this circle space that I want it to align properly to. I'll just press on it while holding shift. Then I will do what? Press my C and my E together. C will make it to fit into the center, while E will bring it inside the box appropriately, so that it is well aligned to the shape. So that is that. I took my time to explain that part, guys, so that we can all understand. Then what next? I don't want this tutorial to be too long and too difficult for everyone to grab, so that's why I don't want to go into details. So next thing now is, what do we have again? We have our cake, and also we have a cake here. So we are going to select our cake once again. So we use the same control imports I to do what? To move in our cake. This is our cake that we downloaded from website. We downloaded this from I think from Google, from PNG egg. This is where I downloaded this from. So also you also can download, go to Google Chrome and type cake. Just type cake PNG. If you type cake PNG, you are going to see some search results and the websites that show some cake. So download whichever cake that is appealing to you. Then you click on it, then you download. If it's PNG, if it's not PNG, you can trim it going to through the remove.bg, or you use the same pattern we use for Photoshop to trim our image. But I assure you, you are going to see PNG just like this. So we can now click on the two together and then import it, and then drag it, then drag the second one too, so that we have our cake imported on our drawing page. So what next now, guys? We need to also create another um stuff here, which is our 50% off. But before that, I would need to do a little bit of correction on the cake, because they can see some watermarks there. So what I can do now is, I am going to use my B-spline tool, just as I explained. I want to use the B-spline tool to remove some portion of this, of this line and all that. Just a little of it. I don't want to go into details of start trimming it. if I am to work with the client for this, I wouldn't use this image like this. I would make sure the image a is not with watermark. If it's for a client or so, always know that you don't use image with watermark. Then what we are going to do now is that we are going to use, instead of using this trim out will only cut out this image part, but then we will not use the trim out. This is another process you do. This one now is intersect. What intersect does is it will remove the image only, and it will remove the other part. If I press the intercept, this is what it will do. It will remove the image from um this what's it called, from this watermark. So it has separate the image from the watermarks, while we have the original image there also. And also we can do that to this one too. Then the same, let's see if this can fit in. Let's try and reduce the size. Then let's see. Okay, so the same, you while clicking on it, you hold your shift key again, shift key, so that it will show this the same intercept. Then you delete the first one, which is the background one. Then you delete the line, then you have it. All right, guys. So now, what we did here, we actually applied a little bit of background color to our drawing page. So by doing that, we can use the um, interactive fill tool, which I also call gradient fill. To do that, if I apply, is going to from black, but I do not want it black, so I'll just click on the white here. So while clicking on the white, this is our white rather. While clicking on the white, I will just hold. I want to apply a tinted, color to the white. I want to apply a color mix, just as explained before. Then you hold your control key, your control keyboard, then you can, apply just a little bit of this color. You'll be clicking on it, till you get just a softness of it. So then you can then, bring it down just a little, so we can have that. Then we can have our cake, imported again. We can power click it, just as explained before. You will make sure you click on it with your right hand, your right mouse click. You then lift it up, then you power click inside, just as explained before. Then you can then edit again, then click on it, rotate. You click on it twice so that you can show the rotation key. Then you make sure you place it properly. You can place it just like that, and then we can have our cupcake. Then we are going to use our text tool again. This time we are going to make it capital. You can use your cap lock on, you can press your cap lock on. Cupcake, cupcakes, wedding cakes, special cakes, or whichever cake you want to use. Special cakes, delicious cakes. Then you come back to your pick tool. Then you can resize this just a little, can resize it just a little. You can further edit your image, or you shift it just a little towards the end, just a little, or you use your arrow keyboard to move things around. So we can have that. And then what we need to do, let's change our typography to, let's see, Poppins. Popping is good for body copy. You can use poppings normal, or we use popping italic medium, which we used before, guys. Then we can then use our shape tool to to do some really cool spacing there, because the spacing is just too much. So we can use this to shift it inside just a little. Then we have our cupcake. Then we can apply this little arrow by using your shift. You press your shift, you hold your shift, and you press the arrow key, the one that is also the one by your full stop, the one by the full stop on the keyboard. You press the while holding the shift key, it will change to arrow, the right hand arrow. Then you do that. Then you can space bar to create a space between them, space bar again, and space bar again. Then you can decrease it, just a little, and then you can shift it, and then you can also edit this and then reduce this cupcake, so it's not taking the whole lot of space for our wedding cakes, which is also important visible subject or visible text for our audience to see. We can then bold it a little bit, you know, and then make sure it is aligned to our circle. We can still shift this just a little, and then I think I apply some boldness to this. Let's see. Poppins has a lot of family, so yes. So we can then click on the color we applied it on. Then let's shift this a little. Then we have that, guys. We have created the particular cupcakes that we do sell, that we have created that. So now another thing for us is we want to create a 50% discount. So we come again to our circle. You click on the circle with your control key being hold down. Then you place it directly just as it is. Then we press our same brown color. Then we remove the outline just as I explained before. You can increase it just a bit. Then also Control C, Control V again. Then we then apply another color to that, so we can have an outline. So this is an outline. We just remove the color and then put an outline after we Control C and Control paste, Control V. Control V means control paste, meaning you want to paste it. Then we can grab our text tool again and then write 50%. 50%. Then we can make use of should we make use of big, but I'm thinking of let's make use of our poppings again, so that we can have a consistent typography usage, guys. Can make use of these bold poppings. Then we can increase it just a bit. Then we can use our curve tool to bring it just a little. Then we can apply the white color. Then we can also have our off. Go back again, click off. Same off poppings. This time we will use the same, we will use regular poppings. We use this our regular poppings, then off, then white, Then we can increase that too just a little bit. Then control shift and clicking on it, then we press C to bring it to the center. Then we can apply the two together. We can group the two together just as explained. Then we group them, control G. Then we click on the box, the circle. We want to center it. Then we do what? Control C. We just press the C and the E together so that it is shifted properly, and then we can enhance it with our shift key enabled, with our shift key holding, being hold down, so that we can have it well aligned to the shape. So we have done that. So next thing for us to do, guys, is to do our place your order today, which is also this. So this time around we'll be making use of our shape, rectangular shape, which is there. Then we would draw a rectangular shape while holding your while dragging your mouse. Actually, you don't need to press shift or control key, just drag and then draw the shape out with your mouse. Then are going to then apply our color fill. So the color we made use of was also the same, white, and then this same um white color, and then blended, holding the control key to blend the color. Or let's just, okay, we can also leave the color just like this. I actually blended those colors together, using our same control key, guys. So now we want to move this, so you will click, um you you right click, and then drag until it shows the symbol we want to power click. Then you click power click inside. Once it's power click inside, edit again, and then down bring it down, just as we have it. Then you can then click finish. So we have it. And also we can, another process for us to do to to power click our object again is, we can as well just use your control X. The control X means cut. You want to cut an item. Control X means you want to cut, meaning that you want to totally remove, and then you want to paste somewhere else. So we can as well do that to our image. Instead of using the same power click format all the time, cut, then you use your control V to paste it back. So it will also be pasted. We can do it different ways like that. We can cut, or we use control cut or control V or power click, to bring our image to our drawing page. If there are power clicks on it already, that is how that process can work. So let's reduce our image using the curve tool. Then we can, yeah. So also control X here too, then control V. Once also move this into the box here. So, and there is no any power click in the box, so that's why we will be making use of our power click for the box, because there is no power click on the box. So I'm going to also rotate it, guys. We'll rotate it and then drag it, to make it a little bit bolder. Then we can then use our transparency tool to create an effect. We use transparency tool to create a blending, so that our the cake can blend very well and is not too showing on the. Ehen. So guys, as you can see, instead of me going back to edit, what I did here was, I placed my my mouse on the objects, then I use what? I use my Alt key. You make sure you are holding your Alt key symbol. You are holding your Alt key keyboard. Then you just tap on the mouse so that it will automatically select the object that is in the box instead of you going back to edit, so that you can edit it from within, from outside it, instead of going inside it to edit it. So that is what I did here. So that's that. Then what else? We can then place your order today. Let's create another type. Place your order today with an exclamation mark. So here we want to bring the cursor to here so that we can have. So what I did was, sorry, I just use my, this is control, this is undo, and the other one is redo. So I just use my mouse, my cursor, just as in any other type, to to put the cursor around. Then you press your enter keyboard so that it will go down. Then you can then resize it. You can resize it and then place it here. Then you can resize it just a little, and then you can change the typography to um Poppins. Let's see, or let's try see if we can. Okay, Poppins is fine, but let's try and see if we can use Poppin medium or Poppins bold. Okay, then Poppins bold. Then we do what? We come to the shape tool once again. Then we do what? We move it. Then we'll come back. Then we just then want to center it, want to align it to this our to what we saw. Then while clicking on it, hold your shift key again, click on it, then you press L. What L does is it will align it left, it will left aligned it. If we press R will come to this position, meaning right. This means left. So you are going to do that, and then what next? We just create for just 20,000 naira. Then we are going to use that instead. What I did was Control C and Control V. You can use it to to dictate the same text type and the same size, instead of you going back to the beginning and start editing them and all that. So we are going to use that. Then we just use 20, just 20k. So the 20k will just bold the 20k. Then the just, we can reduce the size of the just. So what I'm going to do is I am clicking my shift key, then I am pressing my arrow back left, so that it shifts to the left. Then I can reduce like that, to 12. Then I can have it aligned. What I need to do now is to press my Control K to break the two together so that I can have this aligned. So I will press, what I did was I pressed it, then I also hold down the shift key and I press the 20k, then I press my E, meaning to center it to the 20k. Then I can reduce this, you know then what I did again was I pressed my the rectangular box shape tool. Then we can then drag and drag until we have it like this. Then we can curve this shape as it is curved here. You can curve it. You still go back to your shape tool. If you click on your shape tool, you can curve it by using this node, then dragging it. It will give you a curved edges shape. Then you can do that, shift it, and then also this. You can as well make a copy of it, Control C and V, then make a copy of it, and then for our adjust. So we can then do that and then drag only this by not holding your shift key. So you do not need to hold down the shift key. By doing that, then we can center it, then for just 20k, then we remove the then we want to bring this down. We press our control page down. What control page down does is it will move the shape down so that the one that is underneath it will show. Then we press our white for the just so that the just will come out. Then we can apply our white color to the shape, and we also use our control page down once again to bring that one down again. Then we can remove the outline. Then we can then resize the overall altogether, resize everything all together, Control G. Then you shift key, shift press the delicious. You hold your shift key and you press the service. Then you use your left, you press L on your keyboard to align it to the left, just as explained before. You can bring this down a little so that it is aligned to our box shape. Also, you can decide to also shift it just a little so that we can have our phone numbers. Then you can decide to also ungroup it back again. To ungroup, you can come here or you press your Control U. Control U will ungroup. Then you click on it again, Control C and Control V, so that we can have our phone number. Then we can click on it and then type the phone number we want to use: 222 333 space 444, and all that. Then we can then increase it, just like this. And then we want to apply our phone icon. To apply the phone icon, just as we did on the Gina flower, we can also do that too. Then we do what? We press control, you hold down your control F11, control F11, you press it twice so that we have that. Then you can press wingdings instead of weddings. This times you press wingdings, then you press OK. You try to check if we can see the phone icon here. Let's see if we can see the phone icon. Okay, we are not seeing. Okay, we've seen it. This is the phone icon. You can as well use this, but let's use this. Then you drag it and then place. Then you rotate it, right? Then let's close this. You rotate it and then let's control. You hold down your control key and plus, because we are not clicking on anything. We are trying to zoom it so that we can see it. Then you click on it. Then you drag your phone number. You can reduce it so that we want to align it properly to the phone number. Then you hold shift key and then press the number. Then you press your E again, E key on the keyboard to align it properly. And then you can then shift it with your arrow key just a little. And then you can decide to give this one its own color too. So guys, so we are able to do that. Then let's align everything together with the shape. I just what I did there was, sorry, what I did there was I just, out I light everything like this. Then when you alight everything together with the object you want to hold together, is going to highlight everything and click on everything at the same time. Then you press your Control G key to group it. So when you group it, then you can then hold your Shift key again and press the box to what, to to align it properly to the box shape, so that everything is well aligned and looking professional. So guys, I hope you've been able to understand this to some extent. This is a really advanced course now, advanced flyer design, but I bet that you will still get it right, because all right, guys, this is the flyer we just made using our Corel Draw for social media design, just as promised. So we've been able to use Corel Draw to design our first social media flyer, where we started with, getting the background, and then using our Control I, which means control import, to import our image to the drawing page that we just made, and then we made use of the transparency tool to blend it. Then we create the Gina yummy cake. I also would say, if you are unable to get this right at first, well, it's still okay, because this is a rather um, an advanced tutorial for a beginner. However, try to make it, still simpler for you to be able to get it. If you can watch it step by step and then follow my explanation to make sure you get it right, guys. So I am so glad that you can make it this far in this tutorial, that you are able to get this also right. And let's me try and change this to our color. So yeah, so if you can do that, um you are excellent. So, guys, I wish you all the best. This is our tutorial for social media on Corel Draw and Photoshop. So, next one we'll be looking at is how we can design design for print now, which will be how we can make a business card and letterhead, and some other materials for print, which we might need, in our businesses and all that. So that's what we'll be looking at in our next class on Friday, on Sunday rather. That will be on Sunday. Why this would cover all for from Wednesday to Saturday, so that you can have time to practice on your designs, and for the Ashake flyer design as well on Canva. So guys, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. I do not want to rush you, so that is why I'm taking up my time to make sure that I explain this in details, and that you are able to get it right. So when you are finished with your design, let's say we are finished with our design, let me delete this. Then we want to make it a picture, we want to send it to our phone. Then what you now need to do is you click on it. You don't even need to click on it. You can come to File and press Control E. Control E simply means Control Export, meaning you want to export it. The former one was Control Import, meaning that you want to bring something inside. This one now wants to transfer something outside, so we want to export this outside so that we can view it in our different phone and all that. So we can press Control Export, which is also Control E. We can use Control E also. So once you press Control E, you can then it will automatically be on PNG or JPEG, whichever one you use. So, but as for me, I like using PNG as my as sorry, I like using PNG portable network graphic as my own export file format, so that it is lot more sharper than JPEG, because it's a lot more sharper than JPEG. So we can rename it to what's it called now? We can rename it to cake flyer design. Then you can choose wherever you want to export it to. If it's picture, if it's download, then you do what? You press your export here. So once you press your export, another dialog will show, which is saying export to PNG. So it automatically shows this to you. And PNG is 24-bit, RGB, you see RGB color format, which we made use of, which is for social media. Then you click what you click. So let's try and view our design. It's in download. So this is it here. So just click on it and boom, guys, we have our design out. So you can decide to now forward your design to your phone using your Bluetooth, or using whatever means you use to send to your mobile phone, or to Instagram, or to any social media platform. And also, before I forget, guys, always remember that whenever you are designing, you save your design, or otherwise anything can come up your device. Your laptop can crash, or just run out of battery, or or just fail. So always make sure you save. So to save after you design finished, or even before you start designing on the opening page where I explained before, you can just save your document from there. And at the long run, as you are designing, you continue to, let's say, flyer cake flyer design. Then you do what? You click save. Click what? Save. So it is saving here. This is a symbol. So as you are designing, always make sure, guys, that you are using your Control S. Control S is simply the shortcut to make sure that you are saving every step that you are taking to design. Otherwise, if you are not saving, your system might fail, and then you might lose a ample of work that you have done, that you have spent hours in creating. So always make sure you are adapting the Control S. So guys, I am so glad that you can make it this far. This will be the end of this tutorial right now. So I am so proud of you. Continue to create and continue to learn more, learn step by step processes, how I am able to achieve this.